Hi, this is Jürgen Rasmussen. Welcome to the Provocative Hypnosis Vlog. This is a very quick episode about how you can avoid shooting yourself in the foot as an agent of change, coach, or therapist. It revolves around recommending books and resources for clients. I am often prone to recommend certain books to clients. The trick in doing so is I never recommend books for clients to read before sessions. And I never recommend books for clients to read until they have had an insight. And what I mean by that is if a client during a session has an aha experience, has a moment of insight where the lights go on, I'll very often give them tasks to enforce those insights, to deepen them, to strengthen them. And as part of that, I may recommend them watching videos or reading books that touch on that specifically as a tool to help them deepen their insights. So I only recommend books after a client has had a particular insight, and I recommend books that seem tailor-made to strengthen those particular insights. I never ever recommend books before sessions or before the client has been impacted or has had an insight. And the reason why I don't do that is because it makes the work more difficult. The last thing you want is a client in your office that goes, "Oh, I've heard that before. Yep, I read that. Yeah, I know. They've read it, they've heard the language, but there's no insight. There's no insight whatsoever. And that makes it way harder for them to actually have an insight during the session because they're just going to distort it into something they think they know before, something that hasn't really resonated or impacted them at a deep level because they haven't had an insight. This is also my reasoning why, I always put why in quotation marks because it presupposes a cause and effect relationship that isn't really there, but why I never recommend people reading about, say, NLP before they do an NLP course. It makes it harder to learn. You want to go in there with as little as on your mind as possible, ready to have an experiential experience that can lead to increases in skills, perceptual shifts, and insights. And the last thing you want to do is to screw with that by giving people concepts beforehand that they really have no lived experience of. So on occasion too, given how I very often point in the direction of the self being an illusion and our experience kind of being thought generated, some of the toughest clients at times can be people who have read a lot of non-dual, a lot of literature on non-duality. They've heard a lot of the analogies and the stories, but they're still very disturbed emotionally, and there's no insight. There's no deep perceptual shift that has resulted in them having a different experience of who they are and what life is about. So if you follow these hints here, it'll make your change work easier in that you won't be unnecessarily shooting yourself in the foot, at least not in this particular realm. Once again, if my ideas resonate, if you're looking for mentoring, if you're looking for change work, if you're looking to deepen your insights and understandings, reach me at provocativehypnosis.com. Till next time.